Sent from the field, scored about 10 points in the third quarter. Thomas Bryant, of all people, comes off the bench, hits a couple of threes, scores 8 pivotal points, and the Indiana Pacers began to run him out of there. And then Halliburton came in and closed in the fourth quarter. The New York Knicks were undermanned, but you find yourself looking at the series, Molly, Eminem, and it's like there is this feeling that there is one that got away. Yes, Indiana was the better team because they were deeper. They're exceptionally well coached by Rick Carlisle. They came into the postseason having 11 players averaging at least 15 minutes a game. And we knew that they were prepared to go deep and to make this series a long series because they were confident that their legs would be fresh and they would be able to outlast the New York Knicks. And that ended up exactly being what happened. But you do find yourself looking at that game one where the Knicks had a 17-point lead with over 6 minutes left, a 14-point lead with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. 9-point lead with 52 seconds left, and said if the New York Knicks hadn't won that game, in all likelihood, there would be a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden tonight. That's what you find yourself looking at. So maybe tomorrow we'll feel a bit differently. Maybe next week we'll feel a bit differently. But this morning, right now, as we speak, it just feels like that's the one that got away.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've gone over and over in my head in terms of which game is the one that bothers me most. For all of the reasons you mentioned, S.A., I get why people point to game one. But I think game two, you had the opportunity to respond. But that's not where we need to go. I get and I could point to things that I hope the Knicks take the opportunity to evaluate and improve on moving forward. But I do think that, to your point, in the statement you said, the Pacers are a really good team that was underrated largely coming into this one. I mean, they and the Oklahoma City Thunder have the best record since January 1, and here they are in the finals. I think this was a bad matchup for the Knicks, and I know people are pointing to the defense in terms of the Knicks, but to me, the defense had not been particularly stellar all season. It was the offense that crashed out. You point to the points off of turnovers. You point to the humongous disparity in terms of fast break points. And yes, that is a calling card of the Indiana Pacers. Kudos to them, but you got to figure out a way to stay a little bit closer in that category. So I give the Pacers more credit, I think, in this one than I give the Knicks to blame. Not that there is not plenty to evaluate from the Knicks in terms of how you can be better. And obviously the historic game one, you can certainly sit atop of that in terms of the things that you look at in terms of how we got here.
S.A.?
Well, before we get to Jay, just to crystallize Monica's points. Points off turnovers. The New York Knicks got outscored 34-13 in Game 6, 140 to 61 in the series. Fast break points. The New York Knicks got outscored 25-10 in Game 6, 106 to 48 in the series. The New York Knicks bench got outscored by.
But it's like he's trying to run a one-man band out behind his seat. And he's coming. This is a make-or-break season for him. He's got to make an impact. Welcome back, everybody in the building. Wow, what a weekend it's been. I'm back in the studio right now. We got a lot of things that are going on, a lot of changes being made, people in the chat. We're talking about some things this morning that a lot of people, I'm telling you, some people don't want to talk about, some people do want to talk about. And I got to bring it to you because I got to give it to you straight. I got to give you all the things that are happening. Sports, entertainment, news, I don't care what it is, whether it's Trump, whether it's not, whether it's NFL, NBA, track and field, trans athletes right here in the building. We got to have that conversation. I'm going to dial it in right now so we can have that topic right now brought to you guys right now. And good morning. Look, it is already the 2nd of June. Everybody in the building right now that's in attendance, welcome back to the Brandon Mason Show. I appreciate all you beautiful people in the chat right now coming in. Look, we got a lot to talk about this morning, and I'm going to get what you guys think about it. Look, this is a topic that I will tell you. I said, you know what, should I get in here and talk about this? I said, you know what? I should get on here and talk about this because this is something that's happening. This is stuff in the world. It is divided in a lot of ways. Some people will say it's divided by Republican, Democrat. Some people will say it's divided because if you're a Trump supporter, then you don't like this. Or some people will say, look, this shit's clearly not fair. And some people will say, you know what? It is fair. And I want to get your opinions right now when I come into the building right now having this conversation. If you look at the bottom of the screen there, which I'm going to fix it so you can see a little better there, it says trans athlete wins track and field again. And let me tell you something. This is a breaking news conversation for a lot of reasons. A lot of people that are out there in California are like, shit's cool. And some people that are in other states are going, shit's not cool. And Trump has warning after warning after warning about this. I'm going to break this down for you guys to understand and to kind of get a feeling what I'm getting right now. And I want to get your opinion on this in the building right now. If you're watching live in the chat right now, let's dive into it in the chat. Put a Y if you agree with it. Put an if you don't. We'll start with that right now in the chat. Put a Y right now. And what we're talking about, let me show the picture. We're talking about a trans athlete, born a man, okay? Born a man, and then is a trans athlete into a woman, and now competing against women in sports. In the chat right now, if you think that men should be able to compete against women, put a Y in the chat. If you disagree, put an N in the chat right now. I want to know what you guys think. And this is conversation. We got to talk about people in the building. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what state you're based in. This shit, I got to tell you right now, I'm taking a look at it, right? Trans athlete. Do you agree? This athlete, okay, I'm going to read the information right now, and I'll show you some more pictures, a bunch of stuff right here. This athlete competed out there, and it starts with Little League, then you get to high school, and you keep on going, right? Let me read this to you for a second. I want you guys, I got a video I'm going to show you how the women that were on the podium, okay, I'm going to show this right now. The women that got beat by her said, you know what? We're not standing on the podium with her. Take a look at this. We'll show this again later, but I'm going to show it right now. Take a look at this.
It's our top finalists in the 6'8" girls high jump. In 8th place from Lincoln, Lily Mather. In 7th place from Grants Pass, Callie Brandis. A tie for 5th place, Grants Carly Gendritza. Also in 5th place from Miami Wells, Leah Rose. 4th place honors to Sherwood's Reese Ecker. In 3rd place from Tiger, Alexa Anderson.
I'm going to show you why they didn't show the people. Okay. Listen, they're on stage, getting on stage to give out 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place. All the women that were on that podium up there that didn't win because they looked at the man and said, wait, the man, well, hold on a second. It's a woman now, but was a man. Transgender into a woman. Won. Now, they got off the podium and they said, we're not standing on here with her. We're not standing up here with her because she was a man first and now she's a woman and now she wants to beat us in our event and listen, she took ownership of this shit too. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to break down today, if you're watching live, what we're going to go into. So we got that. We got Trump is pissed off about it. The warnings that he's given to the state of California. By the way, this is California. So you guys know this is California. Moving on here. We also have how it started. We're going to dive into that. Then we're going to go into the parents' thoughts on this topic. We're going to go into the schools. Are they confused what they can do and not do in the chat right now? And then we have trans athletes. Will it end? People in the chat right now, look, we got to talk about it right now. Where are you based? Drop your state in the chat right now. We just started our live stream. Ninja, I don't know what you're talking about. 20 people watching. We just started the live stream. I don't know what you're talking about, but we greatly appreciate you. You must be one of those people that come in talking shit for no apparent reason. We have no idea, but we appreciate you coming in the chat right now. Drop your state in the building right now as we dive into this. I want to get your opinion on this. Do you guys agree? And why this is important? We got the student involved, like the student athlete. Then we got the parents that are involved. Like they got to go through this process with their child. And however this happened, was it from birth? Was it something that the child, the kid, felt as a kid, was born that way? We get these conversations, right? Where people believe. Donald J. Plump in the chat again. I haven't even said anything yet. And Donald J. Plump is already talking shit in the chat for no reason. We aren't even saying anything. We're bringing in conversation to see how you feel about it. What kind of, okay, first off, what is bigotry? I didn't even say anything yet. And I'm giving you the information. This is what happens. People in the chat, you see this coming in live, right? You guys can see Donald J. Plump coming in making no sense. And you can see Ninja coming in making no sense. I haven't even said anything. All I said was, do you agree with a transgender athlete? And why this is important is because, look, I'll tell you, I got 4 kids. My kids all like sports, right? And I'm starting to believe that Donald just needs attention as well. I'm starting to believe that too. I started to always recommend him and, I like talking. But I'm starting to think that you just want to come here and have a conversation and say nothing. So you got these people, and I hate to get upset about it because, I don't really give a damn. But Donald J. Plump, right, comes to the chat. Ninja comes to the chat saying absolutely nothing. Take a look at this for a second. Do you agree with this? Look, I got 4 kids. I got 1 daughter, right? So I'm giving it to you straight as a parent. I'm giving it to you from my understanding how I feel. If my daughter plays sports her entire life, right, as a kid, 1 year old, 2 years old, maybe you don't notice any difference. Actually, women at that age might be even faster or stronger. When they develop and they grow and they get to high school and they get to college and they start competing, right? Hormone changes. They got testosterone. These people are doing a whole bunch of things to change up how they operate in sports. And then you get to the point, by the way, we got 100 people in the building right now. We appreciate you coming to the chat right now. About to get it popping this morning.
Make some noise!
If you're in the chat right now, yes or no, do you agree with transgender athletes? Yes or no? Now that people are coming into the building right now, Ninja, Mr. Manu said Ninja is a snowflake. Come to the chat. People coming to the building right now. I didn't even say anything about the damn topic yet. I just showed the picture of the transgender athlete and said, do you agree? And we got a bunch of people coming in here. We got 2 people specifically that came in here that got their own damn problem coming to the chat talking about bigotry. I didn't even say anything yet. That's why, John, by the way, Donald J. Plump, that's how you lose credibility. You come into the chat and you make no sense, and then people look at you and just laugh, okay? For me, I'm breaking it down for people to understand the reality, okay? And you don't have to agree with me. We got people, I got friends, I got family. You can agree, not agree, doesn't matter. I'm asking you specifically in here how you feel about it. If you have a kid, you have a daughter. I have a daughter, okay? She's 2 years old, and I'll give it to you straight. If she plays sports right now, she's running, running around playing track, a little kid, playing wiffle ball, playing Little League baseball, off the little stand, you know what I'm saying? Enjoying herself. The kids are all the similar age, whatever, right? When they get to high school, here's what I want to tell you. Men are built different. You ever watch NBA and then watch WNBA? Have you ever watched, fighting and then watch women fighting? There's some great UFC fighters out there, women. But have you seen the men out there? Can you imagine a man versus women in UFC? Can you imagine it? I'm asking you right now, can you imagine it? And I'm not in this chat talking about whether or not you're gay or straight. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about trans athletes, okay? That's what we're talking about right now, in the building right now. Those people out there in California, and I'll read it to you, trans athlete A.B. Hernandez takes girls track and field state championship in California, defying Trump. It says the meet was played by protests and arrest, and a women rights activist was forcibly escorted out. Now, do you understand what I'm saying? There were women out there protesting, saying this is a woman's sport. These are all girls here, and all these parents are watching. And then you have a man who is, a boy who is now a transgender in the sport and winning. Do you understand all of these people that would have gotten first, second, or third place? And I hate to say it like this, because when I say women, when I say man, I'm not trying to say it in any kind of way. It's hard to determine how that, when I say man or woman, because of the situation. It is a man that is now a woman, or a boy that is now a girl competing in sports against other women. Here's my opinion. I don't care about transgenders. I don't care if you're gay or straight. But what I'm talking about is if my daughter is playing sports and my daughter is running track, or my daughter's playing baseball, or my daughter, whatever sport she's playing, volleyball, I don't want a guy on the other side spiking it in her face and being like, yeah, I took gold. It's not that I'm against that person. Again, that person has gone through a lot. That person has gone through a lot of shit. That person has been through XYZ that I don't know about, okay? So what I'm saying is the feeling that you get when you watch this can be like, you could balance it in your mind. You can go back and forth and you can say, well, I don't know. You can go back and forth. But I'm just telling you, I have a daughter now and I look at this a lot different. My 2-year-old is very girly. She wants to play sports. She runs around. I don't want her to be let down, especially when you get to, say, middle school, and those kids are running circles, right? Those guys, my sons are out of control. They're wild. They're tough. They're crazy. They got testosterone building up. I can see it. I can see it right now. I can see what's going on. The difference of how my daughter is being raised, my daughter is acting, she's very girly. She talks a lot of shit, but if you flick her on her finger, she's crying. She's a girl. It is what it is. You flick her on the finger, she's crying. My boys are like, did nothing happen. And that's because she talks a good game, but she's a girl. She's a little bit less, I don't want to say weak, but she's not as tough as them when it comes to getting that, this or that or flick or punch or smack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Women are built a little different. When you get to high school, okay, and we're talking track and field, but when you get to high school, right, and you start to see this, I think it's 2025. And I do think people have to look at things a little different because it is 2025 now, right? I get it. But we also have to be real, okay? Do you want your daughter getting smacked around by when you get to high school, by a grown-ass boy that's becoming a man or, evolving into that? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Donald J. Plump said as toddlers, little kids, girls are tougher than boys. I agree with that. I just said that. That might be the first thing we ever agreed on in our lives. I just said that. I said as kids, little girls can be tougher than boys as little kids. That's why you made that specific. You said as toddlers, because that is very true. That's possible. But as they grow, right, and you see them grow into men and women, men are more dominant from a alpha perspective, a tough perspective, a dominant perspective, a fighting perspective. If someone knocks on your door or tries to break in your house, right, you think the wife is running there fighting at the door? She might want to fight. She's going to look at her husband and be like, yo, what's going on here? Like, I talk about this all the time. My wife, I'm like, if someone were to break in our door right now, she's going to be looking for me, right? She might step up because we have kids. She's going to protect our kids. She's tough. She was an athlete. She's going to get out there and defend herself. But you know what's going to happen? She's going to look for me. Why? Because I'm the man in the room. I'm the man in the house. That's how we were developed naturally, right? Now, I'm not saying there's no tough women out there. I didn't say that. I'm not saying there's not women out there that aren't going to show up and show out or whatever. But the point is, this is natural stuff that we're talking about, right? Now, Trump is pissed off about it because he said, look, I'm giving warning after warning after warning about this, about transgenders in sports, men in women's sports. Like I'm just giving it to you straight. I'm reading it to you. Okay. Trump is extremely pissed off about it. And I want to break this down for you for a second and read this message here because it says there was a protest, and this is for women, by the way. All the women here, there's 200 people in the building.
Make some noise!
All the women, okay, by the way, were protesting and saying, look, this is a girl sport. What's going on? A lot of women were arrested because of it, right? This is California, by the way. This is California, and people know in the building, every state operates different. We have some beautiful people from California in here. We have some beautiful people from all over the world that come in here, but we're just talking about the states right now of how they're operating. So it says here, okay, just days after President Donald Trump sent a warning to California about letting a male compete in sports, track and field, the state allowed a trans athlete to take 2 state titles. Okay, 2 state titles. This athlete would not have placed against men. And you can see what's happening. You see the heights, you see the jumps, you see the times, you see the records, you see everything. This transgender man, who is a woman now, okay, would not have even come close to placing on the men's side. But look at this. In here it says, after he sent the warning, this is California again, the state allowed a trans athlete to take 2 state titles. Okay, 2 state titles. A.B. Hernandez, a transgender student of Drupa Valley High School, took first place in girls high jump and triple jump and at the state championship on Saturday in Veterans Memorial Stadium in California. Okay, now I see the pictures. Great athlete. I'm not knocking the athlete at all. Hope the athlete does well. But I got pictures on the podium as well. I got a picture on the podium taking first place up there like this, first place. Here's the problem I got. Okay, here's the problem I got. I'm going to read this to you real quick. Hernandez also finished in second place in a long jump to Woodrow Wilson High School. A woman beat her. And then it says Webster was the only female to finish ahead of Hernandez in any competition the trans athlete competed in this weekend. There was one person, people watching live right now, there was only one person at the entire track facility that went above this transgender in an event. Only one person in all of the events. In every single event, there was only one person, one woman that beat this person in one thing. Okay? Hernandez previously took first place in all three events at a preliminary round on Friday. Meanwhile, female competitors who finished behind Hernandez in the weekend's events were bumped up one spot and received a medal they would have earned if the trans athlete did not compete. Do you listen to this, people watching live right now? Listen to this message right now. Listen to this message right now. You got to hear this piece. Listen to this shit right here. Okay? Listen. During the event, okay, the female competitors who finished behind the transgender in this weekend's event were all bumped up one spot and received a medal they would have earned had the trans athlete not competed. Do you hear that? They literally gave everybody a medal that would have won if that trans athlete wasn't there. Why would they do that? It's either have the athlete compete or have the athlete not compete. Do you know what I'm saying? What would be the reasoning? Why the hell would you let the athlete compete? And then after the athlete competes, you say, okay, by the way, if you were second place and this person was first and you got second, we're going to give you a first place trophy because if the transgender wasn't here, you would have got first place. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? Like, that's the shit that we're talking about right now that is in the chat. I want you guys to see this right now. I want you guys to understand that right now, people in the chat. Do you get what I'm saying? This has nothing to do with being gay or straight. This has nothing to do with that. This is the principal point that people coming in here right now watching today have to understand what your child is up against. Your child, legit, your child will have to compete if they allow states like California to compete against women, men, in any event. So what I'm saying, if you're okay with this, then you are okay with your daughter getting in a boxing ring and getting beat up by a man. That's what it is. I don't care what your decision is. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care if you agree with me. I don't care if you take the opposite side. But what I'm saying is you wholeheartedly agree that a man, myself, I could possibly too. Right now, I could say, you know what? I'm going to turn into a woman and I'm going to fight UFC against women. Like that. That's basically what people are saying. Like, you could just do whatever you want to do. I think, look, I don't agree with the shit. I don't give a damn. I got to call it like it is. That's what I do every day. I don't think that makes sense. Okay, I don't think that whether you are a girly girl or you look like a girly girl or whatever, and hold on, we're going to move on to a piece of the pie here. Obviously, Trump is 100% against this. He's pissed off. He said, this is bullshit. I'm telling California right now, this shit's going to end, and he's trying right now to put an end to that because he believes, and I'll be honest, I think most of the world believes, that this is the reality, right? Okay, so now that we're in the chat right now, I'm going to get to another piece of the pie. I got more things to talk about this topic. Donald J. Plump, how is it bigotry? How is it bigotry? Because I think that men should not be competing against women? Do you think my son should beat your daughter in sports? By the way, if my son beat your daughter in sports, you think I would be celebrating him? I'm just telling you straight up. I don't give a damn what it is. I will support my kid. If my kid was in that position, I would support my kid wholeheartedly. If that's what he wanted to do or what she wanted to do, I'm not going to hold her back or him back. But I'm not going to be up on the podium overly celebrating my son beating a girl in a sport. I mean, I'm not going to do that. Now, in a spelling bee, yes. If my son beats your daughter in a spelling bee, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee, Donald J. Plump, I guarantee if you see my genetics and you see what my family's done, I bet you'd eat those words in 3 seconds. Go Google my family. Go Google. I got cousins right now. I had a cousin on a fight on Saturday. Fighting in freaking and fighting in MMA. I got other cousins fighting in MMA. I got more cousins right now going to college, playing football, basketball, double sport. I think, Donald J. Plump, you got something wrong with you. I'm just telling you right now, something's wrong with you. people in the chat right now, if you think your daughter is going to beat my son in sports, you lost your mind. We're moving on right now to the next piece of the pie here. Hold on a second. How it started, though, right? Like, how did it start? Do you think that people are, these kids at home are like, you know what? I'm feeling feminine, right? Like, we don't know. At the end of the day, I'm taking a look at it. I'm going, at the end of the day, how were they raised? How are they treated? And again, this has nothing to do with the athlete. I never once am hating on the athlete, hating on the person. I will never do that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the simple fact that I don't believe men should be competing against women in sports. Makes no sense. You want them to get out there and wrestle too? Like, hey, we have a high school wrestling team. If you want your daughter to be on the men's wrestling team, good for you. Good for you. If you want her to get slammed around by grown men, good for you. But if in fact you are a man and you say, you know what? I'm going for the girls wrestling team. What would be the whole point of having women's sports then? What would be the reasoning of having women's sports then? Am I right or wrong in the chat? Put a Y in the chat right now if you get what I'm saying. Put an N if you don't. I don't care. Put a Y in the chat right now if you agree with me. Put an N if you don't. Why would they make women's sports for men to compete in the sport? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a damn what people say. I love and appreciate everybody in here. We can disagree on a lot of things. We can love each other. We can hate each other on certain topics, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to step in here and tell you that my son should play against a woman in sports. And I don't want your damn son competing against my daughter in freaking sport. We're talking high school, people. We're not talking about T-ball. We're not talking about freaking T-ball here, people. We're talking about, watching people like this be like, you know what? I'm going to be a girl, right? And I'm going to go out there and beat the shit out of all the freaking, all the girls out there because I'm a grown-ass man now. Like, come on now. We gotta be real here. We got to be real here. And all the women in the chat, I'm not hating on women being tough. I'm not saying that women aren't tough. I'm not saying that women can't be great athletes. I'm not saying that women are phenomenal at what they do. We're not saying, hey, you know what, women can't go out there and be aggressive. Yeah, of course. I'm not saying that women can't fight. I'm not saying that women don't have legs to stand on. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, let's be real, people. And all my women in the chat, I love every single one of you. Right? But how many of you are going to go out there right now and we get pulled over on the side of the road and fight a grown-ass man? Right? You're going to get out your car in road rage and fight a grown-ass man on the highway. I tell you what, that's a losing battle, right? I'll tell you right now, 1 out of every 50 women, right? And I got to tell you the truth, people in the chat, that's the reality, right? People watching live right now in the building, over 300 people in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. Where are you based right now in the chat? If you're watching live right now in the building, drop where you're from in the building right now. What state are you based in? Drop it in the chat. What state are you based in right now? And put yes or no. Do you agree with transgender athletes? Yes or no? And I can start with myself right now in the building. And look, I love and appreciate everybody. We got to give both sides of the coin. And we're not going to agree on everything. Everybody in the chat, you know that. I'm in Miami, and hell no, I do not agree with it. Hammer time in the building. Welcome to the live stream. I love and appreciate all my beautiful women in here watching this. I'm not saying that. Look at all the states in the chat. We got Kentucky, we got California, we got Virginia, we got New Jersey, we got Arizona in the chat right now. Everybody in the building right now, everybody watching live right now in the building. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I love and appreciate every single one of you. And I'm not talking about, if you're coming into the building right now, I'm not saying that I don't like I'm not hating on like, hey, this person's a transgender, I don't like them. That's not what I said. I'm not saying this person's gay or straight, I don't like them. That's not what I said. What I said is, I don't agree with transgenders competing like you're a man, bro. Like I'm a guy. I can't now be like, hey, let me go compete against, this girl over here in this sport. Like, hey, let's fist fight. Look, I don't talk about myself at all when it comes to football. I don't talk about my accolades. You can Google them. Scholarship athlete. I've said it on this platform maybe twice in 3 years about what I've done. You guys know that. But at the end of the day, all the accolades like Gatorade Player of the Year, all this shit, why would I want to compete against women? Like, I want to see, the guys couldn't tackle me. Listen, why would I want to run the football and run over a bunch of girls. It would be retarded. If I did that, let me retract. Let me take retarded out of that because I don't mean that. I'm not going to call anybody retarded. By the way, I'm not calling anybody retarded. I'm saying it would be retarded, but I'm going to erase that because I shouldn't say that, and that's not fair to say. If you're watching live right now, smack that damn like button if you agree with what I'm saying right now. If you're watching live right now, smack that damn like button right now if you agree with what I'm saying right now. I want to know how you guys feel. I wholeheartedly, and if you're watching live on your phone, just double tap your screen. I wholeheartedly know this. People like Donald J. Plump will come into the chat and will say everything opposite. If I say the sky is blue, he will come in and say, how is blue? It's green. It's just, you have those people in your live stream, and I appreciate them. They come in, they talk in here, and I appreciate giving you updates and what you believe. But I will tell you this, okay? I'm watching this shit, okay? Why the hell would they have women's sports? People watching this right now. Someone answer that. If you're watching live right now and you think that men should compete against women in high school sports and physical activity, then why do they have women's sports? I don't understand it. Like, am I nuts? Like, we got women's sports and now men are in women's sports, so now we no longer have women's sports. Women's sports, the definition of women's sports. Let's take a look at it, people. Let's look it up. This isn't Brandon Mason's definition. This is definition by way of Google and Wikipedia that I have not. Women's sports, okay, encompass sports, various athletics pursuits with, obviously, women. It says right here, the Women's Sports Foundation, female involvement. These are all women in this sport. It says the key aspect of women's sports is that every single athlete is a woman. So what it says right here, people in the chat, it says every single athlete in women's sports are female. Okay? So then someone explain to me why you could have a man in there. Why would a boy or a man compete then? That would make it not a women's sport. Am I right? This isn't, people are like, this is not a form of bigotry. This is not a form of anything. This isn't a form of shit. This is a form of me telling you that I don't agree with men in women's sports. That's all I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at the shit right now, and it says additionally, it says, like the Independent Council of Women's Sports, work to protect the safety, fairness, and opportunities for girls and women in that sport. That wasn't my damn definition, people. This is exactly what it says on Wikipedia, women's sports. So you tell me, people in the chat, how you are able to all of a sudden wake up and go, hey, you know what? I'm competing. Why don't you compete in dog sports then? Literally. Why don't we all start competing in dog sports? Right? Why not? I'm sure that will happen next. I'm sure, by the way, I will say this. I love California. I don't like the way that it's run. I don't like the government. I don't agree with any of it. But I will tell you this. I think California is beautiful. People that are watching live right now from California, I greatly appreciate you. You got an amazing state. It's beautiful. I don't like the government, but I love California. I'm sure you guys sympathize with me right now. People in the chat right now. I happen to love when I go there, it's nice, right? The views, all the way up north, all the way down from San Francisco, all the way down Orange County. You just keep on going. What a beautiful coast you can drive, right? But that state, I'm watching it right now, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about. Trans athlete wins 2 girls' events. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're watching live right now, what I just said should hit home right now. Listen to this shit, okay? And I just read this to you. If you got second place behind that transgender, they moved you up and gave you a first place trophy. And they said, this is what you would have gotten if the transgender wasn't here. Like, what kind of world are we living in? Like, so you could be a transgender, show up, and you could beat men and everything, right? You could beat men, you could beat men and everything. Sorry, beat women and everything. And then you beat, and listen, by the way, it's hard to say. I'm telling you right now, when you say transgender, it's hard to say, do you say woman, do you say man? Because I don't want to disrespect anybody. I'm not disrespecting the girl or the guy, right? Again, I don't know if they have all the body parts, right? Like these trans athletes, they're transgender. Do they have the body parts? Are they just taking, prescription? And I'm not trying to sound ignorant at all. I don't know. That's why I'm saying this. And I'm man enough to say, I don't know that part. You know what I'm saying? I am on here telling you I don't know that part because I don't know that part. That's what men got to do. And women, basically, when you don't know. Don't get up here. I don't know that part. So I'm telling you. But I will tell you this. When I look at this picture, I can see the structure of the face. I can see that this person, the transgender, right, has changed the structure of the face, right? But there's certain pictures where I go, okay, this does look like a girl, right? Like, honestly, like this one is like, okay, I still see the structure a little bit, but I still see, the whole situation. Now, let's move on to this piece of the pie. Parents in the building right now and parents that have kids, right? The thoughts on this. Your daughter or son wants to be a transgender athlete, right? I'm looking at this and I'm like, look, I give you all the credit in the world for training hard. I give you all the credit in the world for showing up every day to practice. I give you all the credit in the world to getting on stage and doing your thing. I give you all the credit in the world for being someone out there where you're like, I'm dominating, doing my best. I give you all the credit in the world. But the minute you are a grown-ass man beating my daughter and you are bragging about it, come on, bro. This isn't a spelling bee. This isn't a cook-off, right? What else can they do that we can compete? It's not a cook-off. It's not a spelling bee. It's not it's not shoots and ladders. This isn't checkers. This isn't chess. This isn't, you know what I'm saying? If you want to compete in shooting weapons, maybe, shooting ducks or something, like, okay, maybe that. But when you get to sports, okay, physical sports where you compete, and sometimes you have to touch the other person, meaning like you are running into them, hitting them, bumping them, slapping them, punching them, tackling them, whatever. Come on now, people. And it's funny because track and field is one of the only sports that, and I don't agree with it whatsoever, but track and field is one of those sports that you could at least be like, well, at least the other person isn't being touched by that person and they are just running or jumping and doing their damn best, but it's still unfair. In the chat right now, yes or no, one more time. Let me see, yes or no. You agree with transgender? Look, don't say because of me. In the chat, yes or no. Do you agree with transgender athletes? Yes or no? I do not. I want to see what you guys think in the chat right now. I'm putting a big fat no in the chat because I freaking disagree with the shit. You guys can put what the hell you guys think. I'm putting no because I look at this shit and go, bro, this girl would not even have, okay, again, this athlete would not have even came close to winning. And she smacked everybody and got first, second, third place. In every event, she would not have won against men in any of this shit. So the fact that she beats everybody's ass in the sport and goes, let's go, and flexes, it's like, what? What? That shit is outrageous to me. Something is severely off with that. That's my opinion. But the parents here, let's talk about the parents for a second. What do the parents do? How do they feel in this position? How do parents feel, in this situation? And by the way, Donald J. Plump comes in every time, always takes the opposite. Then he says he's independent. Like, Donald J. Plump comes into the chat and says he's independent, but the whole time he talks about, I'm not talking about Trump. I'm not talking about Trump. Nobody's here talking about Trump. We're talking about transgender athletes. This isn't the part of the show about Trump. We're talking about you showing up being a guy and competing in sports. I'm sorry. I'm not letting your son fight my daughter in UFC. I'm not letting your son wrestle my daughter. I'm not letting your son play baseball against my daughter. I'm not letting your son do any sports against my daughter. Period. If you have a daughter and she's great, awesome. I'll support her. If you have a son out there that does not want to play in boys' sports, but wants to play in women's sports, and then you're on the podium celebrating them so much, like, what the hell is going on here? Like, we got to draw the line somewhere. Because look in the chat, can you compete in dog sports? Are we allowed to? Like, are we allowed? I would be pissed off too. Drod, I agree with you. I'd be pissed off too. I'd want to support my kid in every look. I said this. I'd want to support my kid in every aspect of it. I would love to. I think you have to. But to get on that podium, all those girls walked off the podium. Every single girl on the podium, when they were going first place, second place, they got off and walked away. You want to know why? Because behind them, it says the best in women's sports. Like, the best in women's sports. And there's a guy standing up there taking the first place trophy. By the way, I got this trophy. It is a Super Dad trophy, right? It says Super Dad at the bottom right there. And I got this trophy. By the way, Pipple Mama has the first bobblehead. Actually broke. I got another one that's coming. I got to send you one that's actually better. I take a look at this bobblehead, right? And this one is just a Super Dad trophy with a cape on it. I got this award. I actually appreciate that because whether or not I'm right or wrong, my number one aspect is to make sure that my kids are taken care of. My wife is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Both of them at the same time, simultaneously. You know, I started realizing in life that taking care of your wife is just as important, right? A lot of people say, kids first. You know what? I'm starting to think I love all my kids. I got 4. I'm starting to think that, you know what? You got to make sure your wife is fitting right in that same category. You can't be like, I will take care of you kids first and then my wife. It's like, you know what? It's the same time. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we were in the ocean, we were all in the ocean, I got to get my kids, you know what I'm saying? But I got to get myself at the same time. But what I'm saying is, parents, you got a lot to think about in this position. And some people will come into the building and be upset about it, be mad about it. But at the end of the day, we got to call a spade here. Men competing against women. Why do you think that these transgenders are winning all the time now? Explain that. Why do you think the girl Leah, the swimmer, why do you think she's winning as well? She's winning. Now she's not, but she was. She was winning. She wasn't winning shit as in the boy sports. She goes to girl sports, boy. She was winning everything. You know what I'm saying? Nays, who has daughters in the chat right now? Put a Y in the chat if you got daughters in the building right now. If you have daughters in the chat right now, put a Y in the chat. And for all those people, by the way, for some reason, Donald J. Plump likes talking about Trump the whole time. So in MAGA. So if you're in the chat right now to help him out, if you voted for Trump in the chat right now, everybody put Trump in the chat right now if you voted for Trump. If you voted for Trump, put Trump in the damn building right now. Put MAGA in the building because he wants to know who's a freaking MAGA supporter. Show him in the chat right now. If you voted for Trump, put Trump in the chat right now. Let him know. Here you go. Now you can see the wave, all the people in here coming in. Trump, Trump, Trump. Drop it in the chat because he's excited about Trump as well. So let him know, people in the chat. There you go. Now you can see all your supporters coming in. Here comes all your supporters, people, in the chat. I'll drop mine too. Why the hell not, right? Like, and it isn't even about that, people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this conversation isn't even about that. It was just the whole point that obviously Trump was sending warnings up to California saying, look, he's trying to, permit this. He doesn't want men in women's sports. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want that. So the whole point is, I take a look at it. And the people that are, come on now, like some people you lose respect for when you're seeing them type dumb shit in the chat. You know what I'm saying? When I take a look at everyone that's in here right now, the goal of why I came on here and talk about this today, because this popped into the conversation because I'm looking at all the sports topics and all that, what's going on. And it's like, boom, first place. Oh, this girl must be a beast. You look it up. This girl's name is Abe Hernandez. A.B. Hernandez. A.B., Ab, whatever. First place in all these events, and you go back and look at the history, has never won anything and taken first place. And all those kids, all those girls that work that hard, and this is also protecting women, by the way, for all those female Democrats that are like, we got to support women. Well, you're not supporting your women. You're not supporting your women right now. If you believe that men should compete in women's sports, you're not supporting your women right now. So something is severely off with that. If you're a big-time Democrat, big-time supporter of women, you have to understand something. These women get depressed when they don't win as well, right? Women get depressed when they don't win. Women get depressed when they work so hard and stuff is taken from them. Women get depressed at times. This is horrible. And the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, as little kids, they run around together and they play. They're 1 year old. They don't really know what's going on. The little girls are tougher at that point. when you get older, you start putting your feet down, pedal to the metal, and you start going, holy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't many 6'3" girls in my high school. I mean, I'm just saying, all the guys, all my friends that were 6 foot and taller, there was like 1 or 2 girls in my entire school that were 6 foot, right? Out of like, 1,500 or 2,000 kids in my school, in my high school, there was like 1 or 2 girls that were 6 foot. And then there was like 80 or something like that. Like all these guys, you're like, oh, this is fair. Come on. You go to the gym. Why are the girls not lifting what the guys are lifting? We got weight competitions now. Why don't we take, if this is reality, people, why don't we take, the freaking men and put them, in the weightlifting competitions with the girls, right? You guys are watching live right now. I'm giving it to you straight because I want you guys to feel how I'm feeling, but I want you to be honest with how you're feeling. If you're watching live right now, smack that damn like button. We're only 20 likes away from hitting 100 likes on the live stream this morning. Smack that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're live every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., 10 to 11, every single day. If you're watching live in the building right now, we're live every day, Monday through Friday, 10 to 11. Do not miss the show. Why? And here's the thing. They should have gender competitions, right? They should have intergender. Why don't the transgenders compete and see how that goes? Those are good athletes. The transgender, the men to women are good athletes. You see them. They don't win on the boys' side. They don't win on the boys' side, but they win on the girls' side. I'm just saying, if you're watching live right now, I give you my honest update and how I'm feeling. But one thing I will ask you, and I think that if we 13 likes away right now from 100, listen, will it end? Will Trump get a hold of this? Maybe, maybe not. Will another president step in after that and agree with the situation? The thing about it is, I'm not over here saying that I'm against the person. I hope that's clear, because I'm not saying that. If you're watching live right now, I'm not out here saying, oh, I do not like transgenders. That's not what I'm saying. Excuse me. That's not what I'm saying. And never take it that way. And on this conversation, when we talk about the gays, straights, or whatever, locker rooms, don't take it wrong. By the way, I do have a transgender, I will tell you this, a transgender athlete that wants to call into the show. Okay? I have a transgender athlete that is going to call in live to the show. We're scheduling that live to come into the building. As you know, we've been now almost 3 months and expanding our studio. We have massive sponsors. I'm going to announce them that are coming into the building. Everyone that is a part of our show, that is a subscriber of the show, and you are in the Mason Mob, you will also make money on that, I will tell you, because I'm going to give back to the people that support me. Just saying. People that are coming to the building right now, I do greatly appreciate you coming in regardless of what we talk about. People that are coming to the building, I hope you guys understand. But I just, will it end? I don't know. How about this? Schools. Are they confused? Are the schools confused because they don't know? Do they have to teach it? Should they not teach it? Obviously, you know how I feel. Don't teach my kid about transgender. Don't teach my kid about gay or straight. Just teach them math, English, science, social studies. Let them have gym class. Let them learn. Let them take his SATs, grow up. Let them take whatever. Let them maybe teach them laundry. Maybe teach them certain things about dynamics of how things work and, gas and oil or oxygen or whatever. Like, teach them the things you need to know. You know what I'm saying? Is there a reason to teach a kid to be gay or straight or transgender? No, right? Now they can teach sex education and teach you what happens if you do this. A woman can get pregnant, yada, yada. But they shouldn't be teaching you what you should be looking at, how you should be going, the direction you should be going. They shouldn't be encouraging you to be a transgender. They should not be encouraging you to be straight or gay. They shouldn't encourage you to choose what the hell you need to do for your own personal self, is all I'm saying. And I kind of think the schools are a bit confused. Like, I think they don't know. Like, I don't think they know what to do, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people in that school district. They can say, you know what, we're all for that. There's a lot of people in that school district that are not for that. I got friends that work in school systems. I have a couple friends that are principals, just so you know, 2 of them, principals. One in Pennsylvania, one in New Jersey. And actually one that's down here in Miami, principal as well. Not my greatest friend down here, but new people that I have met recently, principals of schools, and had this conversation. You know what they told me? Flat out, this is bullshit. I said, all right, well, I don't know. I'm looking at the school. Like, my point is, I'm not telling them what they need to do, but what I am saying is when my kids go to school, I don't want them to learn that from you. I want them to learn all the shit that I don't want to teach them all day long. The times tables, right? The multiplication, the counting, all that stuff. And they have like sensory toys when they're kids. They just go to little play zones when they're little. Like, just grow up. There's no reason to teach them about all this other bullshit. Do you guys agree with what I'm saying right now? Put a Y in the chat if you agree with me right now. Over 250 people in the building right now. Do you agree, yes or no? If you're watching live. And then Shingami, whatever the hell, I'm trying to say your name right. Shingami, what are you talking about? You're one of those people that you think what? You could just be a dog or a cat anytime. I have videos of people thinking that they can be dogs and cats and birds. You know I show this shit all the time. I show you what people are doing, running around. Here you go. While we're watching this right now, because we have some people in here that believe this is okay. Let's just show it to them because they believe that this is normal. Let's show it to them. This is where a lot of people want life to go. Come on now, people. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want my kids to see this shit. Like, and here's the other thing too, right? I let you guys know the reality, right? Did you guys just see that shit? Did you witness that shit right there? That's not role playing, by the way. They actually believe they're dogs. Like, if they go to school, they'll say, I'm a dog. There are white people, there are black people. I'll give both sides because people get upset about it. There's white people, there's black people going to school saying that they are cats and they are dogs and they need litter boxes and shit like that. And at the end of the day, the schools are confused. The schools are like, we don't know what to do. And yes, you are 100% correct that I legit am looking at homeschooling my kids next year. 100%. For the next year, I'm actually looking into that for the first time. And I have a lot of friends that are doing it as well. And by the way, if you Google it, you will see this too, that homeschool kids actually test better. Now, I think for the social aspect, I would much rather have my kid at school. I'm not saying that at all. I'd much rather have my kid at school. But safety, right? All the shit going on in schools. And then obviously all this shit that they're teaching in schools. And you could be this and you could, hey, guess what? You could be a caterpillar. Like, what the, like, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to be a caterpillar. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, if my daughter comes home and goes, oh, I could be a boy. No, you cannot. You cannot. Now, if down the road she gets older and she wants to become what she wants to be, I can't stop that. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop that. But I will tell you this. A lot of people, I'm reading on it, a lot of people are saying that homeschooling is a better option. I was not homeschooled. No, I was not. I was in school my entire, you can Google my shit. And if anybody has anything to say about me, you can Google that shit right now. Go take a look at it right now. Shinigami, am I saying your name right? And I will not say it wrong on purpose. Do not take it the wrong way. Shinigami, is it Shinigami? I haven't seen your question. It says, you can't answer what makes a woman or a man. What makes a woman or a man? You're born that way, bro. You're born a woman, you're born a man. Really simple. Don't try to confuse people. Don't try to confuse people is all I'm saying. If you're coming to the chat and you are born and you have female parts, you're a woman. If you have male parts, you're a male, period. There's no reason for you to come in here asking stupid questions in the chat. What else we got? Ryan, so you're admitting your education was insufficient. No, I'm not saying that education is insufficient in school. I think it's phenomenal if you have a good school. I'm just saying that if you look it up on the computer and you research it, you will see exactly what's going on. You'll see that homeschool kids actually test really well. Because why? Because they have obviously you or someone that's helping them, proctor them, helping with the test. They encourage them. If this is wrong, they fix it. Like, you don't have 20 kids in your class is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, the ratio between teachers and students is obviously not 20-1 or 20-2. It's like you and them. You know what I'm saying? And in a lot of private schools that I've seen, actually really good private schools as well, have like 7-8 kids in the class. The problem that I have with that is the sports platforms are a little bit harder to get, like the sports connection there and the social skills. I'd much rather have my kid in school, but I'm starting to look at the difference in that situation. I'm taking a look at it right now. I don't get what the hell he's talking about. Some people come into the chat and just say some off the wall dumb shit, and I try to read it. But Vaughn, he really might be an alien for real. Like literally, you're asking questions. You know the answer. Do you know if you're a man or a woman? Like that's really what it should be. If you like, I'm taking a look at your message right now. What is the difference between a man or a woman? I mean, you have to ask that question. What a man or a woman is. You're born. Don't be stupid. You're born a man. You're born a girl or a boy. When they show up, when they look at your stomach and they take the damn shit on your stomach and they start going around looking at it, right? You go through all those ultrasounds. If you have kids, you know they go around and look. Oh, there's a penis in there. Oh, that's a boy. We don't gotta go into it anymore. We don't gotta talk about that anymore. You draw attention to shit that makes no sense. And this is why we have problems all the time. Like, this is why we have issues. I'll be honest with you. We have people that don't just use common sense. Like, let's dig deeper. Let's dig deeper. Let's dig deeper. Well, it's a boy or a girl. And unfortunately, right, this person is being criticized and ridiculed. And I feel bad for the person, right? Because it could be a nice person, could be a girl, it could be a boy that's a girl that's a nice person. I'm not hating on that person. But the reality is, you're not getting first place against boys. You weren't even making the team. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, you're getting first place, and people are like, "Well, it should be." Well, if that's the case, and and they're making this be legal in California, then why are they saying, okay, after the race or after the jumps or whatever, they say, "Hey, you know what? Now we're gonna give you your trophy too because that was a transgender, and that should not happen." I mean, what kind of shit is that? People watching live in the building right now. Look, we're live every day, Monday through Friday, obviously 10 to 11. I greatly appreciate you. Today's actually my son's birthday. My son, his name is Ryder. Today's his birthday. So we have a celebration for him today. So I'm getting ready to sign off, but I will tell you this. I absolutely love and appreciate everybody that comes into the chat. I absolutely appreciate every single one of you that comes in here. I don't care if we disagree on a topic. We can agree on the next topic, but I got to just tell you how I'm feeling because it's reality, right? 88% of the people, okay, came into the chat and said that trans athletes, they're against it, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? This isn't me. I didn't attract a whole bunch of people that are against trans athletes. I'm asking a question. People know you come into the chat, you're going to get the honest update from me. I'm going to give you what I believe and how I feel. And if you're born a man, compete in boy sports. If you're born a boy, compete in boy sports. If you're born a girl, compete in girl sports. And as you get older, it's a problem. It's a problem for many reasons. It's a problem for parents. They had a women's rights movement. And listen, I will tell you this. And I'm not trying to single out Democrats or single out Republicans any kind of way, but all the Democrats are always lined up. Women's rights, women's rights, women's rights. Let me tell you something. All the Republicans, they want women's rights too. The guys, we want women to have rights, and all the girls are Republicans, they want women's rights too. But all of a sudden, you get to this, and every single one of those Democrats are like, yeah, not every single one. Let me rewind. Not every single one. A lot of Democrats are like, yeah, I like men and women's sports. What? You just complained about women's rights. You hated Trump for so many things, and now Trump is standing up for women's rights. Trump is standing up for women's rights, and you're sitting there and you're taking the opposite side. That shit is crazy to me. By the way, I love and appreciate all you beautiful people. I appreciate you guys so much, people that are watching the show. And yes, Donald J. Plump, humans should have rights. Here we go on this whole thing. By the way, this is my problem with people like this that are like, oh, women should, then you're looking at humans should have rights and dogs should be able to go to school because all the kids should have a dog in class because they don't feel good. And, every single pit bull should ride planes because they're helping you, helping people feel good about themselves. And then a dog bites a person on the airline and then they want to sue it's like so much bullshit. And it's like, what's a man or what makes a girl or a boy? Like, don't come into the bullshit. Let's just be honest. If you're born a boy or a girl, we don't got to go down that road. And then if you have kids, as you get older, you start to understand the reality. So I greatly appreciate you beautiful people in here. And I don't give a damn what side you're on, but I do appreciate everybody in the building right now. And Shinigami said you should have gone to school. I don't know what school that he is. Who is he talking to? I'm not really sure what that means right there. Was he talking to me? I hope he wasn't talking to me, because I have a double major and I'm on the dean's list, and you can research that and you can Google it. And I came from I came from a town where I didn't have a lot of money. I came from a very, I want to say, a lower end neighborhood. Had a lot of Democrats around me as well. I grew up, half my family was Democrat, or maybe more than that was Democratic. So, I give you my honest feeling. This doesn't come from someone that like taught me all this shit. I learned on the way, had to see what people were doing. So anyway, I greatly appreciate all you beautiful people in the chat. I hope all of you are having a great day so far. And it ruffled a little bit of feathers this morning, but hey, it's all up to you. It's just me calling a spade a spade. If you're watching the show right now, make sure after the show you leave a message on the video. I'm live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. And also remember this, we'll be live for the NBA Finals games. They're all going to be coming up. I believe the first game's on Thursday. Did you see OKC and the Pacers? So I can't wait to see that game. We will be live on Thursday night for all those games. But of course, tomorrow morning, live right here at 10 a.m. All you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Leave a message on this video. Make sure you hit the refresh button after you see the logo. In about 10 seconds, leave a refresh button. And hit the refresh button and then leave a message on this video. All love to you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Key to this series. Because we've looked at Lou Dort. We've looked at Alex Caruso. I mean, Lou Dort is an all-NBA defensive player. Mm-hmm. And one could easily argue that the Oklahoma City Thunder have two dudes coming off the bench that are just as good, if not better, as defenders than him. And a guy like